Another one that's known as cyanide. Now, if you've never heard of those two things before, they're forms of poison. They're very, very potent forms of poison. They also happen to be the two main chemical components that go into the makeup of rat and mice poison. Think about that for a second. It is good enough to kill rats and mice. Now, like I said, there's only trace amounts of it in there, but it's the main ingredient that goes into rat poison. If it's good enough to kill rats and mice, what in the world do you think it's doing to the soft tissue lining of your throat, your lungs, your heart, and your other vital internal organs when you're breathing that stuff in? And one more time, back to secondhand smoke. You're around someone that's doing it, you get one whiff of that smoke, you're breathing in that arsenic and cyanide, whether you like it or not. Another thing you can find in there, and again, this one falls back on your health teachers. If you guys have talked about tobacco in health class, I guarantee your health teachers have talked about this one. There's a lovely little substance you can find in the tobacco products. It's called nicotine. That nicotine's the deal breaker because that is what gets people hooked. That's why it's so hard for people to quit once they get started. It is a very, very addicting substance. It's one of the most addicting substances known to mankind. As a matter of fact, nicotine is actually considered a drug by the United States government. And doctors have been doing tests on this stuff for decades now. And they say that it is easier to beat most major narcotic addictions than it is to beat a nicotine addiction, which is absolutely insane considering it's a product that can still legally be sold here in the U.S. Now, doctors are very aware of nicotine and its addicting natures. Guess who else knows this? The tobacco companies. They're very aware of it. They've got their own doctors on the payroll. They throw plenty of their own money at research of this stuff every single year. And that's why the nicotine levels in the tobacco products are at an all-time high these days. And that goes back to what I said at the top of the show. The concept is simple. They want you to get hooked fast, and they don't want you to be able to quit no matter how bad your health deteriorates over the years or what you find out about what's going into their products. As long as people are hooked on their products and still buying them, they're getting rich, and that's what they're looking for over there. Now, you're probably wondering right now, well, how bad can this be? Why is this guy going off on this whole nicotine tangent here? It is very, very fast acting. They say that when you light up that cigar or that cigarette, you take that first puff, all it takes is between 3 and 7 seconds. That is it. 3 to 7 seconds for that nicotine to hit your bloodstream and give off the desired effect. And they say that by the time you've tried tobacco twice, you've smoked twice, you've chewed twice, which is well within the experimental phase, that nicotine addiction has already begun to work itself into your bloodstream. And in addition to being a physical dependency, it's also a pretty big psychological dependency as well. People start thinking they need that nicotine to calm them down during stressful situations. They think they need that nicotine to get them going in the morning, when in fact it actually gives off a false calming effect. It doesn't calm you down at all. It actually causes your body a great deal of agitation and actually elevates your heart rate. It's I could go off on that tangent for hours, but you can read up more about that over there. TobaccoFreeKids.org. But if you guys know anyone in your family that's ever smoked for a long period of time and tried to quit, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen the nonsense they have to go through to try to get off of this stuff. Now, I speak from first-hand experience on this one because I watched my dad smoke for years. My dad smoked pretty much as far back as I can remember. And when I was in 7th grade, he finally decided to give it a go and quit. It took him a good couple of years. It took 7 years almost. By the time my dad finally quit smoking, I was almost out of high school. But it was a long uphill battle. It is very hard to quit once you get started. And the best way to keep yourself from getting hooked is becoming a statistic. Don't ever start in the first place. Now, one cigarette, there's 11 milligrams of nicotine in there. I know that doesn't really mean much, but I'm going somewhere with this. Trust me, so bear with me. 11 milligrams of nicotine in one single cigarette. They say that the moister or wetter the tobacco product, the higher the nicotine content. Now, if you've ever seen chewing tobacco, that stuff's very damp. It's very moist, so there's a lot more nicotine in there than there are in the cigarettes. And the reason for that being it's a different vehicle for delivery of the nicotine into your system. With the cigarettes, you're smoking and you're inhaling it straight in your bloodstream through your lungs. With the nicotine and the chewing tobacco, it takes a little bit longer because you're chewing on it, so it's got to get absorbed through your mouth and your lip and your gum wall there. So they ramp it up with a lot more nicotine in there, so they make sure you're getting the full dose. Cigars, they're by far the worst offender of the three products. There's 11 milligrams in one single cigarette. There's over 444. Think about that. 444 milligrams of nicotine in one single cigar. What that basically equates to is one cigar is equal to 3.5 packs of cigarettes worth of nicotine in one single cigar. So cigars by far the worst offender of the three. And as I said, the best way to keep yourself from becoming a statistic, don't ever start in the first place. There's lots of other things you can find in tobacco products. There's ammonia in there. Ammonia is a form of a poisonous gas. It's also a chemical component that goes into the makeup of toilet bowl cleaner. And the reason that stuff is in there is ammonia has been clinically proven to help the human body absorb nicotine. So how about that? The tobacco companies are willing to put a poisonous substance in a product they know people people are going to be ingesting because it helps the human body absorb nicotine that much faster. Sad, but it's true, and it's all over that website, tobaccofreekids.org. There's cadmium in there. Cadmium is one of those 69 known carcinogens I was talking about earlier. It also happens to be a chemical component that's found in the makeup of car and truck batteries. There's acetone in there. That stuff can be found in paint strippers and industrial solvents. There's acetic acid in there. You can find that stuff in vinegars and hair dyes. There's benzene and butane in there, which ironically go into the makeup of a cigarette lighter fluid. There's trace amounts of a jet and a rocket fuel additive that can be found in there called hexamine. There's formaldehyde, which is basically embalming fluid. Again, a very noxious chemical you don't want to be breathing in. There's tar in there. Tar is a byproduct of smoking, and again, this goes back to health class. They say that after you've smoked for 1 year, you've amassed a pint of tar in your lungs. 1 pint. That's about the size of this water bottle I've got in my hand right here. You've got that much tar swimming around in your lungs after 1 single year of smoking. It's another one of those very sad but very, very real facts. There's DDT in there. I'll go into that in a second here. And as soon as we get Koji out of the ramp, I got to get these guys to take their last runs here. It's last run time. These guys all save a little something special for the end. And then I got to do some trivia. So can I get you guys to make some noise one more time for Trevor and the crew here? While I wrap up my last little tobacco thought here. DDT, you don't know what that is? It used to be a chemical component that went into bug sprays and insecticides. It was a big thing found in bug sprays. Now, it's a cancer-causing agent, by the way. And several years ago, the EPA, that's the Environmental Protection Agency, they decided that human exposure to DDT, not a good thing at all. So they banned it. They can't even have this stuff in bug spray anymore. Yet, it's in tobacco products. Now, think about the logic on that one. That's ridiculous. It's branded bug spray. They won't let it go into a product that's designed to kill insects, yet for some strange reason, it's still perfectly acceptable in this country for that to be in a product that people are going to be smoking and chewing on. That one is absolutely mind-boggling. I don't understand the logic behind that one whatsoever. I just read about that one the other day, as a matter of fact, on the tobaccofreekids.org website. It's a work in progress. I'm always learning new stuff. So you want to find out some of these things, these little nuggets of information that come my way on a daily basis, you can do it too. All you got to do, log on to that website, tobaccofreekids.org. So we're down to our final 3 riders here. Oh, look out, John Parker giving you guys the 540 BMX style. Come on, that's worthy of a round of applause. That guy just made 30 pounds of alloy swing around like that. Whoa, look out! Johnny's feeling this crisp October air because he just went for the backflip 180, the flare. How about it? Make some noise one more time for John Parker. He's ramping up the John right there. Look out. All right, we'll turn it over to Mark here. You guys want to see what a 900 looks like on the inline skates? That's 2.5 rotations. It's a whole lot of spinning. Make some noise right now. Here it comes, the fakie to fakie 9. Going into that one backwards and landing it backwards. Just another day in the office right there. He's out of Lansdale. Give it up one more time. Mark Ingleharts. Oh, we're down to Koji. Where are you going to go now? Parker stole your trick. What are you going to do? What's up now? He's rolling the dice. Koji usually finishes the show with a backflip 180. So if you guys like the one that John did, Koji does them as well. You guys want to see another flare out here today? All right, that side wants to see it. You guys are over it over here. They said no more. Here we go. Make some noise. We'll see if he can get this one. Oh! The turn down flare. Remember, Koji, the ramp's only 20 feet in width there, big guy. That wraps it up for the riding portion of these. How about a big hand one more time for Jay Stevenson, Trevor Meyer, Mark Engelhardt, John Parker, and Koji Kraft. The Xbox 360 Get Up Tour. All right, I got a couple of minutes to do this. You guys ready to win some free stuff? All right, I'm going to see who was listening. See who was paying attention. Here's the deal. It's a trivia challenge. It's that side versus this side. I'm going to ask some questions related to stuff I said in the show. If you think you know the answer, don't shout it out, raise your hand, I'll call on you. You get it right, you get a point for your team, and of course you get one of our prizes here. Now, this side, I said this side was going to be the better side earlier, and I was actually right. They won. They won. However, I'm feeling this side's about to redeem themselves today. I like your enthusiasm. Run with it. You guys ready? Here we go. How many people did I say die every year in the United States from secondhand smoke? Looking for secondhand smoke-related deaths in the U.S. every single year. No, secondhand smoke. I'm looking for the number of people that die from secondhand smoke in the U.S. I'm going to have to pick you because you're going to go into a seizure if I don't. 200,000. There you go. 1 point for this side. 200,000 from secondhand smoke.